Hello everybody, Gamer219 here, and just another quick little video session-ish, uh, just another video to talk about stuff that's been going on lately. I guess what they want to call it a podcast, I believe that's what they call it. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, it's been pretty much been busy. My job in which is why I haven't really uploaded anything yet. I haven't even done anything else since my last upload for my channel, and that's because work has been a lot busy. And so there was that reason. Um, First off, I want to say that it's very heartbreaking for the past several days as we lost one of the great actors, which was Chadwick Boseman. And for those who may have know already by now, as you saw it on social media sites and such, he was the guy who played as Black Panther in the Marvel films. He died at age 43 from colon cancer, and to be honest, it really sucks to lose someone from cancer in general. And he was like they said, he was diagnosed back in 2014, 2016, around there, and he never told anybody about it, about his condition. Not even some of his co-stars from many of his movies, or even some of the other studio executives. And yet, he also still managed to visit children's hospitals and was even more of a great inspiration for many children. Despite his condition, he still put a smile on his face. A little bit of a moment of silence for him. And so next up, Hollywood Star Wars actress Daisy Ridley has came out and said that she hasn't had found any more Hollywood roles since the Rise of Skywalker. In one way, I don't blame her, but in another way, this is due to coronavirus, in which, of course, many Hollywood projects have been put on hold or have halted productions for several months. And so her and many other actors and actresses have not had any roles, of course, for anything so far. Just slowly, some Hollywood projects are getting back into production with new updated safety guidelines and such. On the other hand, though, this is this kind of problem. She isn't the only one to suffer from it, as it is reported that Mark Hamill had also gone through the same thing she has, and that was because Mark Hamill was the lead role for Star Wars. He was Luke Skywalker, and so it was apparently like a very difficult thing to hire someone from a specific role that they were very big on seating. And so that's another possibility reason. A third reason, in which of course it's slightly ignored but a lot of people can agree, and this is due to the fact that it was due to the mismanagement and the poor writing from Lucasfilm, in which of course the poor management from CEO Kathleen Kennedy, as well as her and a few other people, including director Rian Johnson, on their bad talk against the fans, alienating them, pushing them away, and thus of course create a big revenue loss. Whatever the other cases, either or, I do hope Daisy managed to get another role, in even a voice acting role. She's a good actress, and I don't fully fault her with what has happened with Star Wars. Meanwhile, her co-star John Boyega also came out with his frustration with Star Wars, in which he expressed his frustration, which of course the mismanagement from the writing staff as well as Kathleen Kennedy, in which he said that they knew what to do with Rey and with Poe, but when it comes to the character Finn, the character that John Boyega plays as, and even with Rose Tito, his co-star Kelly Marie Tran plays, they have no idea what to do with the two characters. And so he felt like he's been a little bit sidelined, in which of course for him I don't really blame him, considering the fact that all that marketing and such from The Force Awakens made it seem like Finn could be potentially be a Jedi, and that it could be that he'll be trained by Luke and probably with Rey also, and yet his character was basically pushed to the side as a minor character after everything that he's managed to do in The Force Awakens. And this is also due to the agenda from Kathleen Kennedy, in which she wants to continue pushing on for the strong female lead role, and as well as the overpowerness of a female. Meanwhile, in the argument with over the anime character Uzagi-chan is slowly, of course, becoming quiet, which is, of course, a good thing, as it has been going on for several weeks since her anime release. And of course, it's not everybody's cup of tea to enjoy the series, which I can understand. But many artists, especially those who have Tumblr accounts or used to go to Tumblr, they all feel entitled to take the original image of Uzagi-chan and make it quote unquote fixed, in which of course they want her to be that, considering she has big melons, they feel that she needs to be more fatter and a little bit more taller than her age, how she looks. And other artists would even change the skin color to Uzagi-chan. There was a small outrage, and it didn't last long though, but it was hilarious to poke fun at. But one artist felt like they were entitled to draw Uzagi-chan getting punched in the face by Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. However, that artwork was very gory, in which it resulted in decapitating Uzagi-chan. This artist is of course a big fan person of The Last of Us 2, and of course would more likely accepted Abby's looks, and says it's more realistic than the looks from Uzagi-chan and how she's drawn. It's very ridiculous, especially when we keep trying to tell people, giving them facts, and they just want to cover their ears or look the other way. Especially when the Netflix series or movie was coming soon titled Cuties was released, and that was the way Netflix handled the response as well as explained themselves, which sounded a lot more like a child abuse. Uh, it's something else, but I cannot really say it because of YouTube. But pretty much, it's kind of extending the circulating rumors going around about Hollywood, which of course I'm not going to go full into detail about it because it's a very sensitive subject, and especially with YouTube, it'll be very hard to even talk about it. And so anyway, so a lot of people on Twitter that complained about Uzaki-chan are very quiet with the movie Cuties, in which it's about a twerk dancing team involving 11-year-old girls wearing skimpy outfits. Apparently, it was originally supposed to be an idea to like bring awareness to the public, more into public about dark secrets about these kind of stuff. But of course, the way Netflix made a summary about it, of course, backfired. However, else, but of course, with that kind of subject, it's quiet down. But a lot of people will not forget about it. Now, as for Zaki-chan, one cosplayer actually had a recent interview and talked about her opinions about the controversy. The cosplayer's name is Shibuya Kaho, in which she recently started cosplaying early 2019, and she loves the character Zaki-chan, and she even cosplayed as the character herself, in which many people said that she looked like she could be a real-life Uzaki-chan. In her interview, she says that, in quote, that the argument over Uzaki-chan reached stupidity when people on the internet tried to fix her, since they think that she needs to have a mature face to go with a mature body, or her eyes are big or too big compared to her body, end quote. End quote, continuing on. I get it if Western people it's Uzaki's teeth, since I know that the vampire fang isn't appreciated outside Japan, but here it's been considered cute even in real life. But fitting her height, face, or the artist's drawing style? Question mark. I'll get to in a bit on what a vampire fang is. End quote, continuing on. First of all, there are short and stout girls with childish faces, including myself, criticizing Uzaki's body type along with the face type as unrealistic would offend women like me, end quote. In which, of course, it actually has, as a couple of weeks ago, a few women had came out in Japan showing, taking with their selfies, showing that they are indeed a pretty big at the top, and that they're even actually at a short height, in which it's a bit of I want to say 5'2" and under. I want to say 5'2". I want to say around there, of course. And of course, that's what's been going on with these SJWs that are whining on Twitter. It's like they're living under a rock, that they don't believe that there could be anyone out there who can be shorter than them, and that also would have such a big body. And they don't believe that anyone would still have a much younger looking appearance than their age, of course. And continuing on from the interview, in which, in quote, Shibuya Kahoa had realized that these people complain about Uzaki's looks are non-fans and non-weebs, as she calls them. Otherwise, they would have known that in many manga that both the eyes and the head are usually drawn bigger. And then of course the nose is often missing, and of course the crazy hairstyles that we see in the manga and anime universe. In which she, of course, Miss Kaho gave more examples that is very impossible from the real universe. In which case, do we get veins on our foreheads when we get angry? In a way, no, unless of course you're a bodybuilder taking on steroids, to be honest. Then she says, do we get nosebleeds whenever we get excited? No, but that is Japan's way of describing someone getting excited from seeing a very hot, attractive person. Do rich girls laugh like Santa Claus, or have you met anyone ending their sentences with datebayo at a time? And so, which of course, that oftentimes happen in anime. And, and so, of course, those were the examples that she brings up. And a lot of art styles varies from anime and manga, from the cutesy moe style, from like when she brings up quintessential quintuplets, to a more mature-ish, realistic style like JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre. And she even pointed another finger towards the SJWs, in which quote she says, if they want reality in artwork, then they could just go ahead and hate on abstract paintings. And people mock Uzaki only to seek attention because it's the hot topic of the social media, end quote. In which of course that is a very good point also. And so that's pretty much about it. I could say more about Shibuya Kaho's interview. Uh, there, the interview came from grape.jp, which of course grape has two E's at the end. You could check it out if you want to read more about the interview. And so, of course, in regards to Uzaki-chan, of course, to me the series is pretty funny. I've enjoyed it, and then looking forward to the rest of the manga. And so, with that being said, so far that's about it on some of the controversy issues going on with Uzaki-chan. In video game news, the sales for The Last of Us 2 have dropped and have been beaten by many old games such as the Minecraft and Super Mario Kart. Rumor has it is that Neil Druckmann is regretting a lot for his decisions on The Last of Us 2, including rumor has it that he's pretty much begging the fans to come back. And like I said again, it is just a rumor, but who knows what will happen next? Only time will tell. Especially with what's happened with The Last of Us 2. In my opinion, I think what he needs to do is he should like kind of retcon some events of the second game and bring back Joel or Joe. Yeah, Joe. Bring him back to kind of slightly finish raising Ellie, because a lot of people feel like there's more to raising her. And not only that, but they want to experience more with the character Joe, in which, of course, everyone feels like the character has been mistreated badly, in which we only get like about 10% of game time with him, and then about like almost 80% of the gameplay is focused on Abby. and the rest being on Ellie. So that's pretty much what everyone's feeling that. Although I'm not quite entirely sure if that's the exact percentage of the amount of time you spend with the characters, but of course a lot of people are still pretty upset about it. And then in other news, it was recently announced for Nintendo Switch that 3 classic Mario games are coming soon. One of them being Mario All Stars to Mario Party and one other Mario game. And sadly, of course, I don't even have the Nintendo Switch. But it's okay though. I mean, like, no, just some things that you just want to enjoy with, especially with gaming and other hobbies. Recently, Gundam has did like a 12-13 day Gundam Expo in which they've talked about some new products as well as other things that's happened with Gundam. And of course, there was interviews with the original voice actor who played as Amuro Ray from the Mobile Suit Gundam series, as well as the interview with the original voice actor of Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing, as well as the designer engineer for many of the Gundam robots from Gundam. And then, of course, the interview with the director of Bandai, in which, of course, he also did. They did a video announcing winners from the Gundam building projects. It was like a Gundam World Expo. No, Gundam Build something. It was pretty nice listening to many of the actors. The actor for Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing was pretty excited for the next wave of Gundam Universe figures, in which there are action figure Gundams that are not buildable, so they're just like straight from the box. I have one of those honestly, and that's the Unicorn Gundam. It has good articulation and paint, but I'm just gonna go off topic here. But as for the voice actor, he was pretty excited, and he even admitted that he has the first Wayne Zero, that the character he voiced pilot in the first half of the or in the first season of the Gundam Wing series. And of course they had mentioned about how it was the first series to come to America, in which of course what inspired many kids into getting Gundams. And speaking of Gundams also, the Gundam anime series Re-Rise has completed its airing run, and now only time will tell as to when the next announcement for an anime series will come out. But until then, there is the Hathaway's Flash Gundam movie that's coming soon. In which it's supposed to be a kind of bit of a sequel to Charged Counterattack, and I believe it's also a sequel to the Unicorn Gundam series. If not, then maybe a prequel, in which a timeline, of course. And then meanwhile, DC, they have recently done like a DC Expo, in which they showed off released many movie trailers for the upcoming films and projects. The film Suicide Squad looks pretty good. It's gonna be directed by James Gunn, and of course has various cast members such as John Cena, Nathan Fillion, Michael Rook, Peter Capaldi, uh, Sean Gunn, and of course Marty Robbie, as well as many other people coming in. As for the characters in Suicide Squad themselves, some are fan favorites in comics, in which of course they're bringing in King Shark, Weasel, Polka Dot Man, uh, Captain Boomerang, Peacemaker, and of course everyone's favorite Harley Quinn, and Javelin, and a few others, in which of course I honestly don't recognize myself. And so there was that movie, and then the official trailer for the Batman film, which is the star Robert Pattinson, was released. It looked pretty good, and as well as a teasing of the main villain, which is gonna be the Riddler, since the trailer has shown many Riddle-like moments and questions. And of course, unfortunately though, the project as of right now on this video recording, the project has been put on hold due to the announcement that Robert Pattinson has the bear virus, and so hopefully he gets a full recovery for him, as well as many other people. Next project announced was, of course, the a Shazam sequel, which is to feature a character named Black Adam. That one will be played by The Rock. So far, no official word on its status, but for The Rock, recently it has been announced that he and his family have the bear virus, and so hope big prayers for them to get better from the sickness. And then last but not least, everyone's favorite announcement, which is the Snyder Cut for the Justice League film. From what I understand from all the comments in regards to that movie, during production, there was a unfortunate events that occurred within Zack Snyder's family life, and so he had to step away from the project, and it was kind of put on hold. And there, the Warner Brothers went and said, no, we need to continue the project, and so they got what's his name, Josh Whedon to finish up the project, which resulted in a lot of reshoots and rechanging the events scenes, in which of course we got what was released back then on the Justice League film. And so there was word that there's still a lot of footage from the original version that was going to be made, in which some of the cast members, including Snyder himself, had said that it's possible to make a movie version from it. And of course, that sparked a lot of interest from the fans. And so it's then a couple of months ago, after that announcement that it was going to be made and released on HBO Max in next year, or in 2022, 2023, I believe, of that movie, a lot of media made a smear campaign saying that it's the fans' fault that we're getting this Snyder Cut, and we're getting that version of the Justice League, and that Warner Bros. Shouldn't even cater to the fans. And of course, it became silent, and that argument. And so, lastly, we got ourselves the official trailer for the Snyder Cut, which introduced, I believe, a fan favorite villain called Darkstead or Darkstead. Forgive me, I'm not fully good with many characters in the DC universe, as well as there's a limited amount of characters I'm familiar with, and so far that's what's going on there with DC, and I believe that's about it. Oh, and then there's the Suicide Squad video game, I believe. It's called Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. I think it's a game, or if not, then maybe like an animation series. And then lastly, there's Gotham Knights, which is a a video game in which you play as Batman and many other members in the group, including Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl. And so that's about it on the DC universe. Meanwhile, with Marvel, nothing really been announced as to what any films that's gonna be coming out. And of course, it's gonna be like a lot of changes after the passing of the Black Panther actor. And then that's about it in movies in regards to the Marvel and DC. An update on the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp case, in which, of course, Johnny Depp is suing Sun Magazine for liability, as well as smearing around. From what I've known, Amber Heard is making a lot more excuses on herself, which a lot of people are not buying into it. In which, of course, she's claiming that the people that are currently supporting Johnny Depp, including that petition page with almost 500,000 signatures, as she claims that they're nothing but Russian bots, which of course is a favorite term by many people, and which they want to regard a loud, vocal group of people who are pissed off at things. Meanwhile, so far it sounds like Warner Brothers is gonna keep Amber Heard for the Aquaman 2 sequel, but they're also giving a go-ahead for Johnny Depp to be in a movie, in which of course that will bring a slight little balance to both parties, and there won't be any much drama. But word is that that Johnny Depp is gonna star in a movie with Robert Downey Jr. Around that same week, after that announcement and such, a couple of media sites are once again drawing a smear campaign against Johnny Depp, saying that he is a sad person who had to go around begging for a job. In which, of course, basically every actor is begging for a job, especially with this situation with the beer virus. Meanwhile, another smearing against the fans and Johnny Depp is from Amber Heard herself, in which she claims that she's after the last court hearing session, as she was leaving, as she had many things thrown at her by Johnny Depp Russian bot supporters. But of course, one YouTuber who was there in all those 2 weeks recording outside the gates, recorded everything, and has shown that there is no such thing as happened during that time. Meanwhile, a few more stuff came out, in which, of course, a lot of backstabbing, but that's a little bit of blurry details. It's not that much important, other than continues on the fact that Amber Heard is a manipulative liar and the abusive person. But other than that, that's about it. Then, of course, there's Fortnite releasing the Marvel's event, in which the storyline for Season 4 was that the villain Galactus is coming to the Fortnite map to devour the world and such, and so Thor had recruited many heroes and a villain to try and stop Galactus. So far, on its first week or two, there's been some challenges as well as a few events shown in which, of course, there's like these solar panel energies towers from Stark Industries in which it's doing something. I have no idea what, to be honest, and plus it's early in the season. There's missions such as attacking Doctor Doom's mansion and taking down Doctor Doom and acquire some of his technology powers. Then, just like with Chapter 2's secret character unlocked with Deadpool, and then later on with Aquaman, this character unlocked for Season 4 is Wolverine, in which you have to reach a certain level to acquire him, and then of course do the Wolverine challenges each week. And then that's about it really for the Fortnite event. And so far as I know, there hasn't been any update to the lawsuit in regards to Fortnite and or more like with Epic Games and Apple. And that's about it, to be honest. And so anyways, everyone, hope you gained some knowledge as to what's going on for the past couple of weeks. And hopefully you'll check out the interview with Shibuya Kaho, as well as keep up with more news going on. And until next time, everybody, see you soon.